On the SportsMax Zone. Just before we join Michael RIcketts, the JFF president, who is going to speak with us now, I'm getting word from a member of the JFF management that another player has his documents in order and he's set to be called to the camp. His name is Blair Turgott. He plays for the Norwegian club Østersunds. He is a winger, 26 years old, born in Britain, but obviously has the Jamaican connections, and he plays as an attacker, a winger, predominantly for Østersunds in Norway. And the word from JFF management is that he has his documents in hand, and he is set to see if he can impress Theodore Tapper Whitmore. Joining us now is Michael RIcketts, the JFF president. Mr. President, good afternoon.
How are you doing, boss?
I'm doing very well. All is well?
I have much to give thanks for. I have a lot to be thankful for.
Excellent, sir. The recruitment drive that you are under, clearly you are keen to give Theodore Whitmore the best available players, because nothing less than a successful World Cup campaign will do. We've been mentioning some names that I want to start with Michael Antonio. I've seen some comments attributed to you about what Michael has been saying about wanting to play for Jamaica. What's the latest you can tell us about that?
Well, we actually had a meeting with him and his agent on Sunday. A discussion that lasted for more than an hour. And he was very excited at the prospects of representing the Reggae Boyz. In fact, he jokingly said that when he decided to shift his allegiance, he told his wife, and that he was now in the process of acquiring his Jamaican passport. His wife insisted that she must too get a Jamaican passport. So it shows a level of interest and commitment. And he was very, very, like I've said, very, very committed, very loyal to the process. And like we have said, the process has actually started for him acquiring his Jamaican passport.
Good.
So we are virtually on the verge of having him officially as part of our campaign.
Good to know these individuals. Max Aarons at Norwich, what's the status there?
Well, I'm looking at the list. I see Andre Gray, I see Demario Gray, I see Isaac Hayden, who he himself called the JFF to express his desire. He personally called. Mason Holgate, Liam Moore. Well, Liam Moore has actually acquired his Jamaican passport. Nathan Redmond, Kemar Roof, and Ivan Toney. All of these, we are in the process of acquiring their Jamaican passport. The process has become a little tedious because, of course, the COVID pandemic, but the process is ongoing, and we are hopeful that we will get the passport for these gentlemen in reasonable time. But we have been having discussions. I just spoke with the Permanent Secretary for Sport, and he has agreed to try and help us to facilitate and to expedite the process.
It probably is a good thing that there are so many overseas-based players wanting to play for us, Mr. President, and that your work is easy. It's just administrative now to ensure that the process runs smoothly. But I say that against the background of the local Premier League, the local players who would have had a chance to impress Mr. Whitmore and his staff. They are not getting that chance, obviously, because of the situation on the ground regarding COVID-19. What process will you use to help Theodore Whitmore to pick local players, given that these players have not played any football since last year, March?
Right. This is, in fact, so, and very unfortunate to say the least. But Coach Whitmore has been making the rounds. Some maybe months ago, he had set up a training regime, virtual as it might be, for those players who would have been under the radar, so to speak. His physical trainers and his technical committee have in fact been having constant dialogue and discussion with these players, and hopefully we'll be permitted to have a camp soon. We have submitted all the requirements, the required documents, and as soon as we get the go-ahead, he will be calling a camp to look at specifically some of these local base players.
Final one, Mr. President. We're seeing reports in the media about wage issues. Wage is different from salaries, you would know that. With the Reggae Boyz, we see figures being bandied about. Can you update us on the status of the negotiations with the boys ahead of the World Cup qualifiers? Will it be resolved before the USA friendly on March 25?
I am hoping for that. But I really don't want to go too much in numbers because we have set up a committee that is actually leading the negotiations. What I'm hoping for is that, and I really don't want to get into a salary or wage dispute with our players because we want to ensure that we do maintain a relationship with the players. And we really want to ensure that we try as best as possible and end this negotiation in very short order. I know that some of the players have expressed a desire, which I'm asking them publicly to just be balanced and be reasonable in the negotiations. And the JFF certainly will do that because we want to amicably settle these negotiation disputes. And the truth is that we never ever want to be in a fight with our players.
We're out of time, Mr. President. I have to ask you this though. The ability to pay is the most important thing. Insofar as the negotiations with the players are concerned, can you as JFF President say that your ability to pay is actually what you're communicating to the players, that you're being truthful about your ability to pay?
Gentlemen, that is absolutely correct. And we have worked out in detail and would have submitted this to the leadership of the players group, how we acquire our funds, and as it is now, how much we can afford to pay. That has been worked out and supplied to the leadership of the group in detail. And like I've said, and like you have said, negotiation is so very important, but we must be balanced and reasonable when we negotiate.
Thank you for your time, Mr. President. All the best to you.
Thanks for having me, sir, and all the best.
JFF President Michael Ricketts. After the break, the Reggae Boyz captain, beg your pardon, Andre Blake.